Tell me y'all just saw Caitlin Clark destroy Cheryl Reeves on national TV. I know y'all saw free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke. Bruh, Caitlin Clark want all the smoke. Caitlin Clark want all the smoke, bruh. Bruh, she just annihilated Cheryl Reeve on national television. I didn't see that coming. They asked Caitlin Clark, hey, Caitlin, are there any player trades you like to make? Nah, I'm kind of set with my team, but I would like to trade coaches.
Oh, talk about poetic payback. The WNBA All-Star game just turned into the best reality show on television. And let me tell you, Caitlin Clark didn't come here to play nice or let grudges slide. While most folks were busy analyzing draft picks and rosters, Clark pulled off the most delicious power play we've seen in ages. She straight up booted Cheryl Reeve right out of her coaching seat, and did it with the kind of flair that only Caitlin could pull off. If you're excited about the All-Star game, comment below, Captain Caitlin. Let's go.
Any second guessing here about not having Clark on the Olympic team?
From me? No.
But as a coach of the home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side. I
don't get two shits.
How about one?
Not even one shit.
This wasn't your run-of-the-mill swap, no. This was Clark saying loud and clear, I'm over your petty games, Cheryl, and I'm steering my own ship now. After all the hoops Reeve made her jump through, the Olympic ghosting, the thinly veiled jabs on social media, the constant attempts to cut her down, Clark finally got the golden chance to turn the tables and show Reeve exactly what she thought of her so-called leadership.
Oh, this is the first time I've ever seen this, man. The first time out of all the times I've seen where two star players are picking up players. They ask for a trade, or the median person asked for a trade, and they're talking about trading the coach.
And let's be honest, there's no world where this wasn't personal. Clark knew precisely what she was doing when she looked dead at Nafisa Collier on that ESPN broadcast and dropped, I don't know if this is technically allowed. I don't really care. We already decided we're trading coaches. The sheer swagger, the fearless delivery. It was everything Clark fans had been dreaming of since Reeve first started stirring the pot.
The WNBA All-Star draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap, because Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty.
Cheryl probably thought she could just coast through this All-Star showcase. Maybe assumed Clark would suck it up and play under her, like none of the drama ever happened. Wrong move. Caitlin Clark doesn't forget, and she absolutely doesn't bow to coaches who spent the last year taking potshots at her instead of lifting up the league's biggest draw.
But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello.
Because let's be real, the backstory between these two is messier than a soap opera. While Clark was out here rewriting the entire women's basketball record book, Reeve was busy firing off tweets like, 12 teams. The W is more than one player. As if downplaying Clark's impact somehow made her a guardian of the game's purity. And don't forget when she so conveniently refused to comment on leaving Clark off Team USA, even as she was the architect behind the roster. Reeve positioned herself as the ultimate Clark skeptic, always minimizing, always redirecting the spotlight.
Caitlin Clark was supposed to be coached by Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve. Nafisa Collier was supposed to be coached by New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello. They swapped coaches. Cheryl Reeve, dodged a bullet. Thank God I don't need to coach Caitlin Clark, man. Man, I can't deal with that. I would have had to swallow so much pride, I can't do that. Fee, she probably called him the Fee, talk to Caitlin, please. I can't coach her, I can't do it. This book's about to come out. You know what they're gonna be saying if I'm coaching Caitlin Clark and the book's out? Oh, God. Fee, please, Fee.
But you know what champions have that petty coaches don't? Razor-sharp memories. Caitlin clocked every little dig, every shady remark, every dismissive shrug. So when the chance finally arrived to flip the script, she pounced. And did it with clinical precision. She dumped Reeve for Sandy Brondello. You know, the coach who just guided New York to back-to-back finals and a fresh WNBA title. From a grudge-holding hater to a proven championship mind. That's called an upgrade. And Sandy's response? gold. Her teenage son literally texted, "Mom, you got traded." She laughed, rolled with it, and brought exactly the good vibes Clark wants around her. No baggage, no bitterness, just hoops and hardware.
Bordello's like, oh yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good. So wait, Caitlin Clark had Chrissy Sides, who never let her. Okay. Now she's got Stephanie White, who wants to do off ball. Oh, okay. And now Sadie Bordello's like, wait, oh, I could show Caitlin what she's been missing this whole entire. I can set up an offense like, oh, here comes recruitment year of 2028.
Meanwhile, there sat Cheryl Reeve, having to watch Clark casually erase her on live national TV. This is the same coach who thought she could shape Clark's narrative, only to get schooled by the very player she tried to sideline. You could practically see the steam coming off her head when reality hit.
Of course, Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, so that makes sense. But the drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the rest of the league, not to mention being the coach of Team USA that Caitlin Clark was so famously snubbed from.
And let's dive into Clark's dream squad for a second, because she didn't just drop the mic on Reeve, she built herself a monster team while she was at it. Look at this roster. A'ja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Satou Sabally, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Gabby Williams, Jackie Young. It's an embarrassment of riches. Not just an all-star lineup, a juggernaut engineered to steamroll anyone in their path.
Caitlin Clark actually has a complete roster to start her team. She's got Caitlin Clark at the 1, Sabrina Ionescu at the 2, Satou Sabally at the 3. She must have heard the chatter in the offseason of fans saying, let's get Satou Sabally. I'm just saying, she might have heard a thing or two. We got AB at the 4 and A'ja Wilson at the 5. Starters for starters, this should be a victory.
The first moves Clark made? Pure loyalty plays. She grabbed her Indiana Fever partner in crime, Aaliyah Boston, first overall, sending a loud signal that she rides for her crew. Then she scooped up Kelsey Mitchell as her top reserve, making sure Indiana's dynamic duo was fully intact for the showdown. Brilliant strategy. From there, she loaded up on absolute ballers. 3-time MVP, Wilson brings the rings and the relentless drive. Sabrina drops daggers from deep and lives for clutch moments. Satou's all-around game and international chops fill every gap.
The players was a lot of fun, and Caitlin Clark also wound up with all of the Fever members on her squad as well, meaning Aaliyah Boston, Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell will be a trio in Indianapolis for All-Star. So that's the way it went down. Here are the teams. You can see Caitlin Clark celebrating what she was able to accomplish here. That's her squad. Clark, Boston, Ionescu, Wilson, Sabally, Mitchell, Gabby Williams. I love Gabby Williams. What a player. Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen, Jackie Young, Thornton, Kayla Thornton from the Valkyries. So Clark should have a very fast team there.
What makes it even more genius is how Clark didn't just stack talent. She assembled players who mesh, who know how to elevate each other, who've already tasted winning at the highest levels. This was a blueprint for synergy, not just flash. It's what separates random highlight reels from squads that actually hoist trophies.
Caitlin Clark just made the funniest All-Star selections ever. She just picked her friends. She picked her friends. She made sure she picked no ops, as people like to call them. She made sure there were no ops on her team. If she's played with a player before, like Sonia Citron, she picked her. Gabby Williams, she picked nobody that's tweeted a negative thing about her. She's picked nobody that has said a negative thing about her in the media. She picked none of her rivals.
You know what truly tells the story of this entire saga? The way fans absolutely lost their minds over it. Clark's supporters didn't just cheer, they erupted the moment they saw that trade happen. Social feeds were flooded with gems like, Caitlin just straight up fired Reeve from coaching the All-Star game, living for this, and so relieved Cheryl won't be coaching Clark. Bye-bye, Cheryl. Fans knew exactly what went down. This wasn't some random strategic shakeup. It was Caitlin Clark grabbing the wheel and driving her own story for once. Meanwhile, over in Reeve's camp, they were probably scrambling around trying to figure out how their seasoned coach just got thoroughly schooled by a second-year superstar. This is the same woman who spent months subtly tearing down Clark, only to get humiliated in the most public, can't-look-away fashion imaginable. And let's be clear, this wasn't merely about X's and O's. This was a straight-up flex of power. Clark made it crystal clear that she's no longer content to be pushed around by the league's old guard. She's a franchise-changing force who can decide her own fate and drop seismic moves that shake up the entire WNBA landscape.
Now, as Gangster Clark heard Cheryl Crusted Blueberry Muffin-ass Reeve being salty in that press conference, throwing shade at the Fever and said, nope, get her punk ass up out of here. She ain't about to coach my team for the All-Star game, and that's why I call her Gangster Clark, because whatever Gangster Clark wants, Gangster Clark gets.
And oh, the delicious irony. Reeve probably waltzed into this all-star process thinking she'd ride Clark's wave, planning to boost her own reputation by cozying up to the very star she spent the last year undercutting. Instead, she got shipped off to coach Napheesa Collier's side, while Clark upgraded to a proven title-winning coach who actually respects her game. It's poetic, and it also highlights just how locked-in Clark's mentality is. She wasn't about to grin and bear it, trying to make it work with someone who's been her loudest passive-aggressive critic. Nope. She spotted the issue, lined up a solution, and executed flawlessly. That right there is the mindset of someone built to be a champion. Now, Clark gets to run with Sandy Brondello, a coach who doesn't just talk winning, she lives it. Brondello has led the Liberty to back-to-back finals and knows exactly how to build game plans that make generational talent shine while keeping the whole squad tight. That's the perfect partner for Clark to light up the All-Star stage.
I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch dirt just be moved around. Because Caitlin Clark's not on the team. If she's there, it's appointment TV. You people, whoever did this, honestly, hey, take your brain, put it in a museum, and study it for how dumb you are.
On one bench, you've got Reeve, the same coach who spent the better part of a year downplaying Clark's impact, tossing shade, and treating her historic rise like a nuisance. On the other, you've got Brondello, a seasoned winner who actually knows how to uplift stars and build around their brilliance. That's a night and day contrast. Just look at the team Clark built. Her all-star roster is stacked like a cheat code. Her starting five could hold its own against any lineup the WNBA has ever assembled. Clark is at the helm, orchestrating everything with her court vision and command. Ionescu is there to splash threes and work her high IQ magic. A'ja Wilson dominates the paint with MVP authority. Sabali brings all-world versatility. Boston locks down the defense and gobbles up boards like it's an art form. And the bench? Just as lethal. Kelsey Mitchell comes in raining threes and delivering in the clutch. Gabby Williams injects defensive chaos and relentless hustle. Jackie Young adds steady playoff-tested composure.
Look at it. I mean, Williams is really fast for a forward. Obviously, Kelsey's very fast. Citron's very fast. Jackie Young's one of my favorite players. Iriafen, a rookie, can get up and down the floor. Ionescu can help spread the floor along with Kelsey and Clark so they can really shoot. Caitlin made sure to get some size. She actually passed up on Paige Beckers to take Sabali, and she took A'ja Wilson with her third pick. If A'ja had fallen any further down the board.
What makes this even sweeter is how Clark isn't just loading up on star power for the sake of it. She's intentionally crafting a team that fits, gels, and shares her competitive DNA. This is more than highlight reels. It's about synergy, accountability, and raising each other's ceilings. That's how dynasties start. But the most satisfying piece of this whole saga? Watching Clark seize complete control of her own legacy. For too long, she's had to smile through snubs, referee bias, and thinly veiled digs from coaches and media who seemed more eager to minimize her brilliance than celebrate it. She handled it all with more grace than most would. But let's be real. Grace doesn't mean you have to put up with disrespect forever. And Clark finally said, enough? In classic Caitlin style, she didn't make a messy public scene or fire off salty subtweets. She just executed a clean surgical move that removed Reeve's negativity from her orbit entirely. You can practically picture Reeve stewing, realizing her plan to cozy up at the All-Star game just went up in smoke. Clark flipped the script and made sure her All-Star experience would be surrounded by champions and positive energy, not people who'd spent the past year trying to keep her in check.
I don't know what's gotten into Caitlin Clark, You are leaning into this bad guy role. I love it. I don't know what's gotten into you, Caitlin Clark, but you've been on some I don't give a F lately. I love it. Oh my God, I cannot believe she just eviscerated and embarrassed Cheryl Reeve on national TV like that. They said, hey, would you like to make a player trade? It's better yet, I'll do you one better. Get this fucking coach up out of here. Hey, Caitlin Clark ain't playing.
Remember, this is the same Cheryl Reeve who kept trying to lecture the world that the WNBA is more than one player. While Caitlin was literally breaking viewership records and pulling the entire league into a new era. Turns out the player Reeve tried so hard to sideline now wields more influence and power than any coach in the league. This move says everything about what Clark stands for. Elite standards, clear boundaries, and a total refusal to settle for less than excellence. She's not interested in playing politics or faking polite smiles for people who don't have her back. She's about surrounding herself with proven winners who share her vision. And that's exactly what Brondello brings. A steady championship-caliber mind who knows how to handle the pressure and unlock the best from every player. Clark didn't just trade coaches. She made a statement that echoed through every front office in the WNBA. She's picking winning cultures over tired, petty narratives, respect over resentment, championships over ego trips.
The coaches maybe is going to be the X factor.
Okay.
The coaches are maybe going to be the X factor.
Hey, Sandy, defending champion, loves to shoot threes, lets her players get after it. I don't know. I'm feeling good with Sandy and Sabrina on my team.
Come July 19th, that All-Star game is going to be an absolute show. Clark's side isn't just loaded with talent. It's a team built on shared drive and mutual trust. They're stepping onto that floor to do more than win. They're out to prove that Caitlin's way, a standard built on loyalty, fearlessness, and unstoppable skill, is the new blueprint. Meanwhile, Cheryl Reeve gets a front-row seat to watch it all unfold from across the court, probably questioning every dismissive remark she ever made. The same coach who thought she could steer Clark's story just got a masterclass in what real power looks like. Because when you try to undermine legends in the making, don't be surprised when they turn around and rewrite the entire narrative. Clark didn't simply swap out a coach. She put the whole league on notice. She's done tolerating drama, done tolerating gatekeepers, done tolerating second-rate standards. This is a superstar taking the reins of her destiny, and she's made it clear. If you're not on board with her championship mindset, step aside. The All-Star Showcase is just the start. The Caitlin Clark takeover is in full swing, and the rest of the WNBA better be paying close attention. If you're excited about the All-Star game, comment below Captain Caitlin, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.